All right, we got another episode. We have finally hit 20 episodes.
Good so far.
So far, so good. We'll continue with this here. So we're going to talk about a couple things today. First thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about, again, MLB predictions. We did it last week. We're going to do it this week, this time based off of MVP, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, all that. We're going to talk a little bit about NBA moves that are going on.
Oh, yeah, dude.
By the way, free agency starts this Friday. This drops tomorrow. It's Wednesday, so in 2 days.
I love off-season moves, free agency.
And we already know a lot of this stuff's going to break, but we're going to get into it next week. A lot of NBA talk next week, so be here for that episode. And another major sport, we'll be making a comeback. We'll be talking about that here in just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we jump into some baseball, shall we?
Yes, go ahead.
All right, so just like last week, our picks keep getting worse.
Yeah, it's getting worse, yeah.
We don't know how to pick, apparently.
But I got some good picks.
You hit it dead on. I actually, if you follow our, obviously this will drop on YouTube. So if you're listening to this, make sure you like and subscribe. Helps out. Yep, like and subscribe.
The previous episode where we picked, MLB predictions, so we'll see.
Yeah, we're trying to get the subscriptions and stuff like that up right now. So go ahead and like and subscribe. Helps us out a lot. We're gonna continue doing this. Absolutely. So looking at this, we did our predictions last week on division standing, stuff like that. This week we're doing it on our MVPs, like I stated. I actually shared a short off of our channel. Okay. So if you haven't seen that, go look at that. You actually picked this guy. Why don't we jump into Rookie of the Year to start right out the gate? So
Rookie of the Year.
You're the one who picked it correct. Why don't you tell us the NL Rookie of the Year that you picked?
You want me to say this?
Yeah, I want you to say the NL Rookie of the Year that you picked.
Anthony Volpe.
That is not the NL. That is the AL one that you did. What's the NL?
No, the NL. I'm sorry.
Yes, there you go.
I'm sorry. Corbin Carroll.
Yep, Corbin Carroll.
I'm sorry.
He is leading right now.
Yeah.
He is the number one favorite at this point, and it's a huge gap from what I see. So kudos to you for that one.
Well, thank you.
I went with Jordan Walker. He's currently last.
Yeah.
So kudos to
St.
you.
Louis,
I'll give you your flowers.
They got demoted to.
I think he's in. I think he's back in AAA. So
thank you.
Yeah, he ain't
you
there.
owe me $50 for that.
Yeah, my ass. You ain't getting nothing. So. Anthony Volpe was both of our AL Rookie of the Year picks.
Oh, what a disappointment. But we're not going to talk about the Yankees today because last week it was too much for me. I still have a headache about it. So
keep an eye out for that as well. Now that you brought that up, I did hint to that on our Twitter. By the way, you can follow us on the link on the screen. We have our host account and our both of our accounts, personal and our Inside the Stadium account. So make sure you follow us on Twitter. Turn on those notifications so you can get all the up-to-date info from us. So you talk about your issue last week. Go back and listen to that episode if you haven't already. Yeah. He goes on a rant.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to bring in... No, you're good. We're going to bring in actually a surprise second week. We're going to have a week where we're going to put our regular episode out. We're going to have another surprise episode. Yes.
Exactly.
We have not come up with a name for that yet, but they're going to kind of be something that occasionally we do on the side
that the fans wants to hear about. That
we're
the fans directly wants to hear about.
We're gonna get real. We try to be a little bit nicer,
polite, but we have to be.
Sometimes you gotta let it out.
Exactly. It will be. Just gonna hint
Might
you
have to
something.
call them rantcasts.
I'm just gonna hint you just the initials. BC. Get ready.
So we might call those rantcasts. That's what we might do. We have our podcast. Why not rantcast? We might go with that. We haven't decided on that yet, but so. Anthony Volpe was both our picks. It's not looking good for him. He's like last or middle of the tier from what I've seen last time. But again, real quick, kudos to you.
Thank you.
Corbin Burns. Way to go. Or not Corbin Burns, excuse me. Corbin Carroll.
Corbin Carroll. Doing a good job so far.
Why don't we move on to best records? Why don't you hit me with your best record in the NL?
The San Diego Padres.
That was my pick. You're looking at the wrong side,
I'm sorry.
buddy.
My apologies.
You're on one today, aren't you?
The Dodgers.
Hold on, wait a minute. Did you get enough sleep, buddy?
Not too much, man.
No, neither did I. But at least I got my shit together.
I'm sorry. The Dodgers.
You got the Dodgers.
My back. The Dodgers.
All right.
Oh, my God.
And how are they doing?
No, not
yeah, exactly.
Not the greatest.
Hey, at least they're still above my team I picked, which is the Padres. They have let me down in so many categories.
I think the best record is the Atlanta Braves, I think.
No, Tampa Bay Rays still.
No, the NL.
Oh, NL, yeah, it's definitely the Braves.
Yeah.
By the way, Xander Bogaerts went off on the Padres. He's had enough of that.
Yeah. Do you think the Padres will make some move on the trade deadline?
They very well could. But I don't think it's for the reasons you think it is. Okay. I think that they're going to be trading away players.
I think so too. I don't think they can compete.
Well, let's see. They just signed Manny Machado to a massive deal. Mm-hmm. Okay. They just signed Xander Bogaerts, who just ripped them a new one.
They don't have space.
Plus, they have Tatis's contract.
Yeah.
You know who I think is going to be major candidates? And I'll give you my top 3 for the Padres, and then we'll continue from here.
Okay, go ahead.
Joe Musgrove is going to be one of them.
Okay.
Yu Darvish is another one. And I could see teams like Baltimore going after those two.
Yes.
And then the last one is Juan Soto. Somebody's going to want an outfielder.
I don't think this year.
Well, isn't his contract up after this year?
He got 1 year and a half left.
Okay.
So
I think
the off season, they will keep him right now. If the Padres not going anywhere and they don't think they can, maybe next year, I think Juan Soto will be traded on the offseason.
Yeah, but then that's the thing. You're not going to make that decision in the offseason. You would make it
this
mid-season.
Is the reason why. Shohei Ohtani.
Well, then you want to trade him before the offseason because then that allows teams to say, you're asking too much, we'll just go for Shohei. Fair point?
Maybe.
Okay.
So we'll see. But we'll see. I think because of the Shohei Ohtani effect,
that's gonna affect the whole market. It's gonna affect
the whole league.
It's gonna be just like it was this past one with Aaron Judge. I'm sorry, Arson Judge. But continue.
Arson Judge.
Yeah, remember Arson Judge? Yeah, huh? We're still not letting him down on that. John Heyman for that one. Thank you.
Thank you, John Heyman. That's for life.
That's for life for sure. So then, I'm gonna tell you AL. My pick for the AL for best record. I'm sick to my stomach for picking this one first off. Sorry, but the Yankees. I picked the Yankees to have the best record. You being a Yankee fan, though, love that pick. I remember looking back on that episode. You couldn't help but smile when I picked them. But why don't you tell the fans who you picked?
The Houston Astros.
Yes, you did.
The Houston Astros, because they was the defending champions, I think, with the move what they did for Abreu on the offseason. I didn't expect that Altuve will get hurt,
Nope.
There's some questions about Tommy John surgery for some pitchers, the Astros. I think it was like 2 of them maybe or 1.
I think one of them.
The injuries the Astros have right now, they, cost them, to lose a lot of games.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue. Also, Michael Brantley was a key contributor last year. He's been hurt for most of the year.
Yes.
So that's another player. I mean,
Jordan Alvarez is hurt.
Alvarez was hurt for a while too. Yeah, he's still hurt actually. He hasn't even come back yet. Yeah, he ain't coming back for a while. With that power,
6 weeks I think.
With that power that he uses, I mean that's big.
Mm-hmm.
So, not looking so good for our predictions. You only got one. Looks like one right so far.
Yeah, I know.
So why don't we take a look at the AL Cy Young? Why don't you tell me who you got?
Garrett Cole. I think he have a chance. I think if he can lower the ERA somehow.
But see, this is the problem for Garrett Cole.
Mm-hmm.
He's a first half of the season pitcher. He struggles midseason, and then he comes back strong at the end. If he can't stay the Garrett Cole that you expect him to be for the months of July and August, I don't think he's got a shot.
No.
Not at all.
You're right. But I think he have a chance if he continues to be like 260, 250 ERA. But depends what the other pitchers.
Those strikeouts got to be close to 300
those strikeouts will be good.
They got to be close to 300 by the time he's all said and done. And I think he does hit that.
Oh, yeah.
The ERA is going to be the biggest question mark with that. Also, his win-loss. A lot of people keep forgetting win-loss is another big factor when it comes to Cy Young.
Yeah.
My pick was Shohei Ohtani. We're going to go over the MVP here in a minute, and you'll see I kind of flipped them. I put Shohei and Cy Young for a reason because I had a different pick for MVP, and I'll explain that reason here in a minute. Shohei Ohtani looks like he might be the MVP, though, not the Cy Young.
Exactly.
Leading Cy Young is Shane McAllister from Tampa Bay. Right behind him is Framber Valdez.
Oh, yeah.
And they're close. They're close when it comes to the odds right now. But I brought up earlier Corbin Burns. Speaking of Corbin Burns, that was my NL Cy Young pick.
Yeah. And mine was Sandy
Alcantara. Alcantara. Yeah. We didn't expect... it's funny, too, because we both... When I look back at that list that we made, We both had Spencer Strider on there. Neither one of us picked him.
Nobody.
I was leaning him, but I thought Corbin Burns, and my reason was because he didn't get that contract. I thought he was going to come out and pitch lights out.
Mm-hmm.
He's not pitching terrible, but
it's not.
No, nowhere near as Cy Young worthy.
No.
Now, speaking of a former All-Star, now we're on the topic of pitchers real quick before we move on to MVP. Alek Manoah just got crushed in FCL League.
Crushed. Big time.
11 runs.
In 2 innings, I think.
I think it was 3 and 2 or 2
by
and 2.
AAA team.
Not
Rookies.
AAA.
What's a triple?
Not AAA.
The boy.
Florida Complex League.
Florida Complex League. Okay.
Yeah, that's basically like, hey, you just got drafted.
It was
welcome.
37 point something like that.
Are we watching an All-Star turn around to possibly having no job in 2 years?
That's crazy.
Because I don't know what happened to him. I don't think he gained any weight.
No.
He didn't have any issues coming into the season. What is going on with him?
Maybe mental issue.
It's got to be.
Mental issue, I think.
It's got to be.
But he run his mouth too much.
Yeah, he does. And you know.
Did it backfire him?
Yep.
Backfire him?
What did he say? Pressure something you put in tires.
Exactly.
He's feeling the pressure right now.
Oh, yeah. Without
the tires this time. Yeah, exactly. That is terrible for him.
I feel bad.
So do I.
I feel bad because you don't want to be laughing at somebody that's struggling. You know, they compete. You know, they're this. You know, all these players they compete to be in this position in MLB.
And you do see those players that are like, wow, they're having a great couple years, and then all of a sudden, career's done because they can't figure it out all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's just
I
crazy.
Don't get it.
But I'm hope that he can figure out and come back to the league and see, you know, pitching that he used to be pitching. But right now, I feel sorry for all the Blue Jays fans. Feel bad.
Yeah.
Because he was the
he was the ace for them. Yeah,
and
now he turned. Yeah, it's terrible.
He's the ace for them. So
hopefully he can turn it around. But I just, from seeing what we've seen, I don't know if he's gonna be able to turn it around next year either. It might be a 2-year thing before he comes back.
God.
I mean that's
and
then by
sad.
then he might be done with his contract.
That's
so
sad.
We'll see.
And when he got demoted, he was crying.
Yeah, I mean, and he didn't even just get demoted to AAA. He got sent down. And I don't know. It's just crazy to me. But AL MVP. This is another one it looks like you're going to have right. Why don't you tell us your pick for AL?
Shohei Ohtani, I told you.
I thought he'd win Cy Young.
I told you that he will be, this is the last year. I told you because of Aaron Judge last year, final year. He's Shohei Ohtani that he deserves that big chunk of money on this free agency market.
I just thought Shohei would be more Cy Young than MVP because Shohei Ohtani.
You see the home run, the way he hit?
Yes, he's hit.
Inside, and the guy was pitching. How in the hell did he hit that?
There are people that do that in the league. It's weird to see him do it consistently, though. But again, he's been pitching just as well as he's been batting, which is why I thought maybe they go Cy Young with him this year because the guy I thought was going to have a great year. And by the way, he's still really good at baseball.
Oh, yes.
And my pick was Mike Trout. And that's the reason why I put Ohtani at Cy Young is because I thought Mike Trout was going to have another year where he comes back and he's like, I'm not done yet. You know, kind of like a LeBron thing. Like, oh, you're saying I'm too old. Let me go ahead and do this.
I think this will be the scenario.
Hit me with
Maybe
it.
there's a possibility Mike Trout could be traded if the Angels re-sign Shohei Ohtani.
That's a big possibility. And where did I say he might get signed or traded to?
Phillies.
Put him and Bryce Harper together with Nick Castellanos.
That team will
That's name a better team on roster, on paper. You can't. That's for the NL's championship.
Yeah.
NLCS. That's it. That's
NL East.
Book it.
Yeah.
I'll put $100. I'll put $1,000 on
That
that
team,
right
they
now.
get Mike Trout. Braves, watch out, because of the fact is with those players fully healthy. Oh my God, that offense will be horrendous.
And the crazy thing is, Atlanta's got to watch out. But here's the thing: I still think that series would go 6. I don't think it goes 7 or so.
No.
I don't think it goes 4 either. But yeah, that's not looking good for you.
And New York Mets, I feel sorry.
I'm gonna give you a round of applause real quick. That's 2 picks you have right.
Thank you.
At least for now. But
I feel bad for the New York Mets.
We're going to get into that in a second. Don't jump the gun here. I know where you're going with it. We'll talk about it in a minute. I put a tweet out about it.
Yeah.
NL MVP. I picked your favorite player other than Aaron Judge.
Oh, no.
Manny Machado.
No.
Manny Machado.
I never liked that guy. I never will.
All
But
right.
I cannot, I cannot deny how good player he is.
And he is. Unfortunately, though, he's on a team that is not winning games. And unfortunately, when you're the one doing a lot of the lifting and you're still not winning games, you're overlooked at MVP.
Yeah.
And that's sad. But it's true. So, continuing from there, I don't think I made a worse pick, though, than this guy that you picked for NL MVP. And it's not because he's playing bad. It's because that team doesn't have any
That
good
team sucks.
That team is in last place, so the whole world's looking at it like they don't have anybody good.
No.
And they do, and that's the sad part. But why don't you tell us your NL MVP?
Paul Goldschmidt.
Paul Goldschmidt.
Goldschmidt, I'm sorry.
Goldie.
But
Yeah.
you know what? I think, what's his name from the Dodgers? He will be
Mookie?
MVP. No, not Mookie.
Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing. He won it with Atlanta before he before he went to. That was the year they won the championship.
Yeah.
So
Freddie Freeman.
he could. He just got his 2000th hit. His 2000th hit the other day too over the weekend.
Yeah,
so good
he's
for him.
doing good. That he keeps hitting and he's doing a good job in the Dodgers.
Yeah, I mean it's good for him. He he deserves it, especially after the crap his agent pulled on him
Oh yeah.
by not telling him the Braves offered another contract for more.
Oh, he has to be upset. No,
I know Braves fans are upset, but they're also not because guess who they got in replacement?
Olsen.
Matt Olson.
Matt Olson is doing a good job.
And that allowed them to get other players too because they didn't spend that
and
money
the Braves
as much.
don't need Freeman right now.
Or the Dodgers do, that's for sure.
The Dodgers need it. So right now, the Atlanta Braves are doing a good job. That offense is scary as hell.
Yeah.
And by the way, most of those players, they have a 7-year deal, 6-7 year deal.
Oh yeah, they're locked up.
They're locked up
In Atlanta, yeah, they're locked up. Austin Riley's gonna be a superstar. Give it another 3 years. He'll be MVP talk consistently.
Yeah.
Just like Mike Trout was. Not saying he's as good as Mike Trout
No.
before anyone crucifies me on that. But
No.
real quick, why don't we switch over to NBA? Little NBA action. Some worth note talking. Some trades worth talking about in a sense. First off, Bradley Beal and Chris Paul swapped teams. Bradley Beal, Jordan Goodwin, and Isaiah Todd go to the Suns in a deal that gets the Wizards Chris Paul, Landry Shamet. Hear me out on this. 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, and a 2030 second round pick.
That's crazy. That trade is crazy.
And they also swapped 2024, 2026, 2028, and 2030 on those picks.
That's what it's like. How many picks? Like 10 altogether?
It's ridiculous how much the Wizards got for that.
Yeah, they got a good deal. They
Now
have a good deal.
they have a great team now too because of that. But the biggest question is going to be: can Bradley Beal stay healthy?
No,
Can Kevin
I don't
Durant
know.
stay healthy? Those are your two issues. Because
the chemistry.
Devin Booker can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
You have injury-prone players on that team. We'll
They're
see what happens
desperate.
at free agency.
They are desperate to win a championship.
Their chips are all in right now.
They're
They went and they
desperate to
played.
compete against Denver.
They're playing.
That's what they're doing right now. Try to compete against Denver.
And if that team stays healthy, they will.
They want to compete against Denver. That's what the whole goal is right now. But I don't see Phoenix will be
Phoenix
Denver.
will be in the playoffs again. I don't know. It all comes down to these players staying healthy. And honestly, I don't see them all being on the court at the same time. If anything, Beal's hurt for the first half and then Durant gets hurt or vice versa or whatever the case is, you're never going to have, like you said, chemistry.
By the way, Chris Paul got traded to the Warriors.
Why don't we talk about that real quick? So
That's crazy.
so Chris Paul went to the Wizards and then not even a day later got traded to the Warriors. Chris Paul and Ryan Rollins, God, I can't talk today. Got traded to the Warriors for Jordan Poole, a 2027 second rounder and a 2030 first rounder, which is protected.
Protected. Yeah, that's crazy.
So, yeah, Warriors are all in on that. I don't know what that lineup's going to look like. A lot of people are assuming it's probably going to be Chris Paul off the bench. If that's the case, I wonder if Chris Paul wants a buyout because Chris Paul's not sitting on the bench.
Exactly. I don't know why they traded Chris Paul. You got Klay Thompson as a shooting guard. You got Stephen Curry as a point guard. Chris Paul is starting.
The only thing I can see is I know they have this. The only thing I can see really is
It's not gonna work.
You're gonna end up having to do this. Chris Paul at point, Curry as your shooting guard. You're gonna have to put Clay as your small forward, which is very undersized already. Then you're gonna have Wiggins and Draymond play your 4 and 5, and that's just
that's not. I don't know if it's gonna work.
They're gonna get out rebound. Which means they're gonna be shooting a bunch of threes, and if they can't hit it, good luck.
I don't see it's gonna work.
Everyone's playing small. Well,
if Draymond Green leaves, it's over for. I think
I'll let Steve Kerr do his thing as long as Steve Kerr's still the head coach. He's got 3-4 rings under his belt, so I'm not. We'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna shut it down because you never know. This team could be the best team that ever played. They might beat the Bulls record and actually win a ring this time. You never know.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. But one trade that we didn't talk about that got it all started with the trades. Marcus Smart traded from the Celtics.
That was I don't know what the heck.
Grizzlies got rid of Dillon
Kristaps Porzingis to the Celtics, and you just trade the best defense player from 2022.
2021, 2022, something like that, yeah.
The best defense player.
So the full trade is Celtics get Kristaps Porzingis, a 2023 first rounder, number 25, by the way, and a 2024 first rounder. Grizzlies get Marcus Smart. Wizards get Tyus Jones, Daniel Gallinari. Yep. They also get Mike Muscala and a 2023 second rounder. So, if you put it all together, who have the Wizards gotten? They got Landry Shamet, Jordan Poole, Tyus Jones, Daniel Gallinari, Mike Muscala, and a 2023 second-round pick, a 2027 second-rounder, a 2030 first-rounder protected, and they got all those picks from the Suns. I think the Wizards are off to the best start in the offseason so far.
Oh, yeah.
Even though you don't have household name players, these are good players. Yeah. These are players that can give you depth. These are players that can score for you, give you defense, and they're temporarily, which is where the picks come into play. They're gonna lose Kuzma, so that's another reason why they made those trades.
So Kuzma, where do you think he's going?
I have not dove that far into it yet.
You think the Cavs can do the mid-level exception?
I think he's out of their price range.
Okay.
I think he's gonna ask too much. I think one player isn't going to ask too much. And that's because I think he's going to do a 1 or 2 year deal. And just to be able to play with these guys and take a little bit of a, hey, just let me shoot the ball, take the pressure off me. I think Kelly Oubre could be in their price range. I think maybe a 2 year, $16 million, 8 year, $8 million a year, something like that.
Small forward. They need a small forward bad.
He could play that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. I heard rumors about Brian Windhorst on Twitter, that he thinks he heard something that the Cavs are going to do something in
very
the
soon
free agency market.
As soon as Friday.
He cannot say anything because he could get in trouble.
Correct, with tampering and all that and everything.
Exactly,
like that.
He can get in trouble, but he heard something is cooking in the Cavs.
One of the things I will bring up with that is I did hear the same thing that you kind of did, but a little bit expanded. It did sound like it could be a thing where the Pelicans are looking to move Valanciunas, and one trade scenario I seen was maybe Valanciunas and Trey Murphy the third, for Jarrett Allen. So it replaces a center temporarily. It knocks $3 million off it technically balances out with Murphy.
Yeah.
And his contract, but it gives you basically a small forward that when you need small forward, and he can rebound. Trey Murray can rebound a little bit, and he can shoot a little bit too. You need a core to come off the bench if you're the Cavs, that's for sure. But free agency starts Friday. We got a lot we'll be talking about next week. Last thing we're going to talk about today.
NFL!
It is coming back.
Oh, yeah, can't wait.
It's going to be here before you even know it. This drops tomorrow, which is June 28th. Training camp starts, it looks like July 25th.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of openings will start July 28th, so we're less than a month away or about a month away. Training camp's going to start. Before you know it, we're going to have preseason. First off, the Browns and Jets will play August 3rd.
That's crazy.
So that's right after. And then looking at it from there, we'll kick off the season September 7th. We're 2-3 months away, and it is the Detroit Lions at the Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't know why they did that.
I would have liked to see a better opponent.
Sense. Like, why they don't pick like Bengals or I don't know, maybe they don't qualify to play this year against the Chiefs, but put somebody good,
somebody entertaining,
somebody they can watch. It's a Thursday night football. It's a primetime game.
No, I'm not saying
it's a primetime.
So don't get me wrong. I agree with you on this too. At the same point, it is the Lions. But again, how many games did the Lions win last year, and how many games did they upset dominant teams?
Yeah,
they made some moves too. So we'll wait and see. We thought we knew about our baseball predictions. Clearly not.
Oh no.
So well, you did better than me apparently. So, we'll wait and see. We do have some stuff in the works for NFL.
Okay.
We're gonna be doing a couple things. We actually are going to have a couple people stop in from time to time as well. So we're gonna have more voices here to stop in as special guests and stuff like that.
Yeah, and anybody maybe you have any questions or anything like that you guys want to hear about, just put some questions on Twitter. You can follow my page.
I'll pop that on the screen right now. By the way,
Cameron and Inside the Stadium, like just what kind of questions or what things you want us to talk about baseball, basketball, or
you want
football.
Us to break down a trade, any type of move that we could see happening.
Because we are happy to talk about it, and also we have a special episode very soon.
We talked about that earlier. It's coming out in the next couple weeks. We're gonna record it here soon. We're gonna give you a review of all these GMs and some of the dumb moves they made and some great moves they made. You have more dumb than good based on what the team you're wearing on your hat says right now. But we'll get into that.
Seriously.
Well, you said it last week. I don't want to hear it.
And by the way, folks, I know this is recording. Will be posted tomorrow.
Yep.
So afternoon,
12 o'clock.
Steve Cohen
Eastern Standard
is going to talk tomorrow.
Keep an eye out on our Twitter.
Keep an eye on that because he's gonna talk directly to everybody.
So if you're a Mets fan, let's hope
there's something is gonna happen tomorrow. Or before the conference, he's going to decide something.
There's more issues than just their records, and we'll definitely be live tweeting about that on our Twitter page.
I'm excited to hear what he's going to say.
Something about New York right now. They're just not having their way. And
something
we're
is
going to go
boiling
into that.
over there. Big time.
But we'll get into that here very soon. Make sure you guys like and subscribe after this episode. We're trying to get that subscribing up. So go ahead and do that for us. And then make sure you follow us on Twitter. That should already be on the screen. Other than that, you guys have a good one.
You too, guys. You take care. And I hope you have a wonderful week.
You too. Let's
Don't work too hard. Yeah. And by the way, go Yankees, no matter what.
There he goes again. All right, guys. You guys take care. We'll see you next week.
All right.